The end of summer is here, people. September starts next week, and if you've not started getting ready for Halloween, now's the time. Welcome back, horror fans. I'm Leo, and BooTube Breakdowns is here to save your scary movie night. Normally, you guys know the drill. Here's my score, insert joke, yada yada yada. In this video, I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to be discussing the top 3 horror movies that I'm most excited for before Halloween comes. If you're just as excited about it as I am, please like and subscribe. Now let's get to the list. Alright, let's get this going. Coming in at number 3, we have The Conjuring Last Rites. Ah, yes. The supposed end to the Conjuring franchise. 12 years of haunted houses, cursed objects, and Ed and Lorraine Warren looking perpetually exhausted by demons that never stay dead. The final chapter is being framed as the ultimate showdown between the Warrens and every evil force that they've ever had to go toe-to-toe with, which could either land as operatic horror or slide straight into Scooby-Doo territory if handled poorly. Personally, I'm hoping for the tragic route, something cruel and inevitable, where the demons win and the Warrens' work is exposed as a futile delay to an eternal war that they can never actually influence. That would sting, but it would be honest, and it would give the series a brutal send-off instead of a Hallmark ending with holy water. And yes, it's going to sound wrong, but I'm excited simply because it means this series can finally be put to rest rather than dragged across another decade. Horror should know when to die. 12 years is a lifetime in franchise time. And of course, the cynic in me is already bracing for the Disney effect, where nothing truly ends and we get a wave of spin-offs that will grind the name into a corporate slop, alienate the fan base, and eventually make ghosts political for reasons no one really asked for. A clean ending would be a bold move, but horror studios aren't known for restraint. Either way, this alleged conclusion hits theaters September 5, 2025. So prepare for either a funeral worth attending or one last round of brand management disguised as horror. And now for number 2, we have the appropriately titled Black Phone 2. A direct sequel to The Black Phone is on the way, and this time the twist flips the entire setup. The victim isn't chatting with the grabber's former victims, but with the grabber himself. The first film thrived on the tension of a kid locked in a basement, guided only by the voices of the dead. But now the killer has crossed over and walls don't mean a damn thing. That instantly changes the dynamic from survival thriller to ghostly predator. And it's hard not to be curious about how far they'll push it. The original was fantastic in my book, and one of those rare mainstream horror films that actually understand the atmosphere instead of just spraying jump scares everywhere. I'll probably need to break out one of my usual full reviews on that one before the sequel lands because it sets a bar worth revisiting. Ethan Hawke carried so much of the first movie, balancing menace with a professional sharpness that most horror villains never come close to. And if anyone can make a spectral return work, it's him. Watching him in a role where physical limits no longer apply feels like a natural escalation, the kind of sequel move that could either collapse under its own ambition or turn into something unforgettable. Either way, I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Mark the date, October 17, 2025. The Grabber isn't done yet. And finally, the number 1 horror movie I'm most excited for before Halloween comes is Good Boy. Good Boy flips the haunted house formula on its head by letting us see the nightmare unfold through the eyes of Indy, the dog. And honestly, that's a brilliant move. Horror has always leaned onto the idea of animals sensing what we can't, barking at shadows or growling at empty corners, and now we finally get to witness what they've been reacting to all along. It's such a simple premise, but it opens the door to an entirely fresh perspective in a genre that often recycles the same tricks. Instead of another human screaming into the void, we get a loyal companion navigating a house full of unseen horrors, and that alone makes it 10 times more unsettling. The promise here isn't just scares, but emotional weight, because nothing hits harder than seeing the goodest boy pushed into a nightmare that humans can't even comprehend. There's also the curiosity factor of how a ghost story plays when your protagonist doesn't speak, but it conveys everything through instinct and reaction. Quite frankly, as a viewer, there's many times that you are also led to see things that the protagonist doesn't, and you want to communicate, but you cannot. So it cleverly puts the viewer in the perspective of Indy. I think it's going to be fantastic the way that this works out. Done right, this could be one of the most unique haunted house films in years, one that takes a familiar setting and makes it feel new again. It's a gamble, but one worth watching, because animals in horror always steal the show, and when the animal is front and center, that's not just a hook, that's a potential genre shift. This one barks its way into theaters on October 3rd, 2025. So there you have it, everyone. My top 3 most anticipated horror movies coming to theaters before Halloween this year. What do you think of the list? Is there a movie you wish I would have mentioned? Leave your comments in the comment section. If you enjoyed what I had to say today, you're mentally ill, and I would get help. I'd also hit that like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell before you go to a friendly psychiatrist with a hobby of lobotomizing his victims. Maybe it's a reference to one of my upcoming horror reviews. Keep it creepy, horror fans, and I'll see you in the next one.